Welcome. Today we're going to explore something really unsettling, something that sits right on the edge of waking and dreaming. Sleep paralysis. Now, you've probably heard of it, right? But the actual experience, the first-hand accounts, they are something else entirely. We've gathered some incredibly vivid stories, really personal ones, and today we're going to unpack them, try to find those key insights, those moments that make you go, aha, and maybe understand this phenomenon a bit better.
It really is fascinating from a neurological standpoint. Sleep paralysis is essentially when you feel conscious, aware, your senses are working, but you cannot move. Your body is still in that sleep mode.
Right, like a disconnect.
A profound disconnect, yeah.
Yeah.
The mind is on, but the body switch is still off. And this creates this canvas for some truly bizarre and often terrifying experiences. It's linked to REM sleep, that rapid eye movement stage. There's a mechanism called rematonia, which paralyzes your muscles, presumably so you don't act out your dreams.
Makes sense.
But sometimes your conscious mind wakes up before that paralysis wears off. That's the glitch.
That glitch. Yeah, that sets the stage perfectly for this first story. This person was in college, finals week. So, extreme stress, hardly any sleep, kind of the perfect storm. Really.
Yeah, sleep deprivation and stress are definitely known triggers.
So they remember waking up, room's hazy, weird vision, and they realize they can't move. Nothing, except their eyes. They scan the room, and there's a woman standing right in the middle of the room, facing the bed, black dress, holding something, long, indistinct objects.
Wow.
They're trying desperately to yell, to scream, but nothing comes out, just silence. Then the woman starts moving closer, kneels down beside the bed, reaches out, touches their forehead.
They felt that.
They felt the pressure, yeah. And they look right into her face, and it's their mother's face.
Oh, that's deeply personal.
Completely trapped.
Yeah.
Just staring, silently struggling.
You see that a lot. The mind, especially when it's under that kind of psychological pressure, stress, grief maybe, it conjures figures that mean something deep down. It's not random. The amygdala, the brain's fear and emotion center, can become hyperactive in this state. It's it blurs traumatic memories or intense emotions with what feels like present reality.
It's the brain trying to process powerful feeling.
Exactly. Processing grief, maybe fear, in a way that feels utterly, terrifyingly real.
And this is the detail that just sends chills down your spine. Their mother, she had died just 3 weeks before this happened.
Oh my goodness.
So after what felt like forever, the image just vanished. They can move again. They bolt upright, screaming, "Mom!" running out into the hallway. Their dad comes out, sees them, just hugs them, doesn't really say much, just, "I miss her too."
Wow.
It just shows how the mind weaves these incredibly personal, almost narrative experiences into those moments, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Blurring memory and whatever that state is.
It absolutely does.
Okay, so moving from that kind of deeply personal vision to unsettling sounds. Our next story started as a weird nightmare, but then it shifted into paralysis. This person was dreaming something about being chased by a creature in the woods, standard nightmare fuel, right? But as the dream faded, they found themselves back in bed, aware, but paralyzed again. And that's when the sound started. Faint at first, really hard to describe, kind of robotic, but also alive, repeating every 3 seconds.
Auditory hallucinations are common too.
And it got louder.
And louder.
The brain's trying to make sense of things, right? It's awake, the body's asleep, maybe there's not much actual sound, so it starts generating its own input. Sometimes it pulls in bits of the dream that just ended, or maybe even misinterprets tiny real-world sounds. It's creating a reality to explain this weird limbo state.
Well, this created reality got intense. The sound was just deafening inside their head. They wanted to scream, just make it stop, but couldn't. Then their eyes kind of locked onto the closet door. And there was a crack in it, which they said they never left open. Oh, no.
And looking through the crack, a face. A man's face, but distorted. Horrible, huge, open-mouthed smile. Just unnatural. And with every pulse of that sound, it felt like the closet, the face. It was getting closer, inch by inch, closer, closer. Then suddenly, slam. The closet door banged shut. Silence.
And they could move.
Instantly.
Yeah.
Regain full control. And this person, 24 years old, first instinct, run to their parents' room, get their dad to check the closet.
Well, I don't blame them.
Of course, nothing was there, but the dad, he actually got it. He'd experienced sleep paralysis himself years ago, so he understood that sheer terror.
Having that understanding must help, even slightly.
Maybe. But it makes you think how your own safe space, your bedroom, can suddenly turn into, that. and those sounds feeling so real.
Yeah.
Okay, this next one. It involves this feeling of an evil thing, as they put it, in the closet. And this person actually tried to confront it, even while paralyzed. They knew something was in the closet. They tried to look, really force themselves to turn their head, but it was like their eyes just wouldn't obey. They'd glance away every time.
A feeling of aversion almost.
Yeah. Then they thought they woke up and like, oh, thank God, just a dream, cold sweat, relief, but only for a second. Then the paralysis clamped down again. For real this time. And they didn't hear laughter, exactly, but they felt it.
Felt it.
Like sickening waves of laughter washing over them coming from the closet.
That's fascinating. It shows how powerful the brain is creating these full sensory experiences, even tactile ones like waves or pressure without any real input. It's all internally generated, but for the person experiencing it, it's indistinguishable from reality.
And then it got physical, or felt physical. This thing apparently threw something at them. A human head landed right on their chest,
What?
face up. And they recognized the face, a girl from their high school.
Oh, that's horrendous.
Up to that point, they were scared, sure. But seeing that, they said they just lost it. Full-blown panic, couldn't scream, just these awful grunting, moaning sounds, trying to wriggle to push it off, straining against the paralysis.
That feeling of fighting against unseen bonds.
Yeah. It felt like it lasted a minute or two, then poof, they properly woke up, shaking.
The psychological impact.
Exactly. What does that do to you? Especially if you have no idea what sleep paralysis even is. They said for weeks they were terrified, scared to close their eyes, scared they weren't really awake when they opened them, just constantly afraid something horrible was about to happen again.
Yeah, lack of knowledge makes it so much worse, thinking you're going crazy or being attacked.
For sure. Okay, let's shift gears slightly. This next one felt different, less like just pure terror, more like a premonition. It happened really early, like 5, 6 in the morning, barely any light. Woke up and, yep, paralyzed, helpless, staring at the wall. Then they hear footsteps, heavy footsteps coming up the stairs. And it's their brother, then their sister, then their dad, then their mom.
The whole family.
The whole family. But they're all sobbing, hysterically. And they seem taller, like a foot taller, looming over the bed, heads almost touching the ceiling, unnervingly tall.
Distortions of familiar figures are really common too. It adds this layer of uncanny valley terror.
Totally. And again, can't move, can't cry out, just watching this bizarre, terrifying scene.
And it's not just a snapshot, is it? It's a scene playing out. Some experiences have this narrative quality, like a little drama unfolding. The brain isn't just showing images, it's weaving a story, often with complex emotions, even if the figures are distorted.
So this tall, crying family, after what felt like ages, they just turn around, walk back downstairs, silence again. Movement returns. The person jumps up, runs downstairs after them. Nobody's there. Checks all their rooms, brother, sister, parents, all fast asleep.
That must feel incredibly surreal.
Heart pounding, utterly unnerved. Couldn't get back to sleep. Just what just happened? But then, this is where it gets really strange. A few days later, they were in an accident. Hit by a speeding car.
Oh no, were they... Okay.
Broken bones, fractured thigh, hospitalized for a week. But okay, eventually. While they were in the hospital bed, at one point, their brother, sister, dad, and mom were all there, standing beside the bed, looking down. And their mom was crying, emotional. And the person realized it was almost the exact same image from the paralysis. The four of them standing there, the mother crying.
Wow. That's quite a coincidence.
Right. They said, look, I'm not superstitious, but if I was, I'd be 100% convinced that vision was some kind of sign, a prediction.
It raises fascinating questions about subjective experience and how our minds interpret these highly unusual states.
How do you make sense of that? A terrifying vision that seems to mirror a future event so closely.
It's hard to say definitively. Coincidence, the mind drawing parallels after the fact, or something stranger. Science focuses on the neurological event, but the subjective meaning for the individual is powerful.
Yeah. Okay, one last story. This one connects a weird real-world thing directly to the paralysis. Summer evening, hanging out with friends. They see someone hiding in a bush nearby, making this really weird, off-putting sound.
Just someone being creepy.
Probably. They all screamed, laughed, ran off. Didn't think much of it. The person telling the story was a bit drunk. Fell asleep easily later. Next thing they know, waking up, room's almost pitch black. Can't move. Uh-oh. Sleep paralysis again. Eyes darting around. And then they hear it. That same weird noise from the bush.
Ah, so the recent memory, the auditory cue, it got pulled right in. That's a perfect example of how external stimuli or even just vivid recent memories can get woven into the fabric of the hallucination. The brain grabs onto these fragments. It makes the paralysis experience feel incredibly immediate, personal, and tied to reality, even though it's internally generated.
So they hear the noise, and then they look towards the foot of the bed, and they see, quote, pure nightmare fuel.
Oh, boy.
It looked like a floating head at first. Grotesque, horrific, demonic, ghost-like, just awful. But as it got closer, they realized it wasn't floating. There was a body, but it just blended into the darkness. You couldn't really see it. Just this horrifying head, mouth hanging open, making that bush noise.
Right in their face.
Inches away. Just inches. Making that sound. Then it's faded away. Gone. They let out a scream, could finally move, sat, bolt upright, panting, heart going crazy. Turned on the light. Nothing there.
A residual terror must have been immense.
Totally. They were adamant it wasn't a dream. It seemed so real, like I was awake for it. Their parents figured it was sleep paralysis, but admitted they'd never heard of anyone seeing things quite that vividly.
The spectrum of experience is huge, from simple pressure to full-blown multi-sensory dramas.
It really makes you think about that line between what we experience out there and what our minds can just cook up when things get out of sync, doesn't it?
That porous boundary, yeah.
So, okay, we've explored some really intense, unsettling stories today. What jumps out is that feeling, that profound helplessness, and these incredibly vivid hallucinations, visual, auditory, even tactile, and how blurred the lines get between what feels like a dream and what feels utterly real.
Yeah, the mind's capacity to create convincing realities is staggering. But it's so important to remember, knowledge helps here. While these experiences are genuinely terrifying for the person going through them, it is a known neurological event. That temporary glitch we talked about, brain awake, body's motor control still switched off from REM sleep, understanding that it's an internal phenomenon, not an external attack, can offer a really crucial perspective. It might not stop the fear in the moment, but it can help contextualize it afterwards. Demystify it, maybe a little.
Right. Knowing what it is can make a difference. So here's the thought to leave you with. The next time you're drifting off to sleep, or maybe if you find yourself suddenly awake but unable to move, what hidden corners of your own mind might be waiting to step out? And what would you do if you came face to face with your own waking nightmare? Thank you for joining us for this exploration of these unsettling accounts. If these stories intrigued you or maybe gave you a bit of a chill, please do give us a like, share this with anyone you think might find it interesting, and make sure you subscribe to our channel, Horror Docs. We delve into more fascinating and sometimes frightening topics there. We'll see you next time.